Hey everybody, Hostrone here with another first edition Friday video for you. We're going to just jump right in because I have a question for you. What deck do you think that I am playing? Our missions are the ones that are obviously facing us. We have a hypothetical opponent who appears to be playing Cardassian Resistance. Okay, but we've got these 5 missions in the Delta Quadrant, and we have a Symbiont diagnosis over here in the Alpha Quadrant. So go ahead, pause the video, take a look, think about it for a moment, and then answer what deck it is that you think I'm playing. Okay? So we do have Conduct Perilous Trade, we have a Federation mission set, and even though this Symbiont diagnosis is hanging out here looking all weird, if you stop and think for a moment, you're going to realize that with Research Rapid Rotation and the fact that if we attempt the alternate requirements, we could blow somebody up and we can download somebody, which means that we would be able to download some trills. One of those trills is Lenara Khan, and we'd be able to just wormhole ourselves right over to Symbiont diagnosis. So go ahead, put in the comments what you think that I am playing, and then we'll go ahead and actually play this out a little bit. So, I mean, the obvious answer is playing Voyager and then trying to do a weird trick like this, right? This weird little trick. This could just be a way to really distract from the fact that what we're really going to do is we're going to do Conduct Perilous Trade, and we're going to go return life form, and we're just going to just try to score a whole bunch of points. And then when we eventually get to Symbiont diagnosis, can't be Homestead because we have missions that are too big, but we do have 40-point mission, 40-point mission, 40-point mission, 40-point mission. So we can still just do 3 missions and then score bonus points. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So, like I said, go ahead and put in the comments what you think I'm playing, and then we'll go ahead and we'll finish out the seed phase here. But the point of this video is we have a dilemma suite that we have put together here where we are taking advantage of the fact that if our opponent is either in the Alpha Quadrant, Mirror Quadrant, etc., or maybe even the Gamma Quadrant, that they would have a shortened spaceline. And even if we're facing another Delta Quadrant opponent, it hampers what we're doing a little bit here with our dilemmas, but it's not the end of the world. We would just have to be more deliberate about what it is that we're doing. But yeah, so let's go ahead and finish out doing seeding so you see what I'm playing. And again, like I said, put it in the comments what you think I'm playing. Be honest. There's no reason to lie here, and there's no embarrassment if you're wrong. So yeah, we'll go ahead and continue seeding. You will have noticed that we put out a regular size draw deck here, 54 cards, nothing special. So yeah, that's what we're playing. So we put out a Transwar Pub here. We have a Borg Unicomplex right here. We'll put a Space Door on it. We're going to seed the Computer Crash Drone. We are seeding a mission debriefing. We're seeding an established gateway. We're seeding new arrivals and service the collective, and then we're going to put the Transwarp Network Gateway down here, of course, so that we're right by our Symbiont diagnosis that we plan on assimilating. Symbiont diagnosis is a great mission. This has been a favorite mission of mine. It's a personal favorite of mine ever since the DS9 set came out back in 96, right? I think it was 94, 95, 96, whatever. I've just loved this mission. It is so ridiculously hard because you need to solve it with a Trill with Symbiont. So it's a high point mission that you can seed and not really worry too much about an opponent stealing, because it's hard to have a Trill with Symbiont. So the only really concern is an opponent assimilating it, out from under you. But if your meta is like pretty much free of Borg, you don't got to worry about it. So it's a great mission just to mess around with. Like I said, it's a personal favorite of mine. All right, so we've seeded out. We'll go ahead and reveal our Q stamp here. And we are doing Harness Particle 010. As I said, we've seeded a mythical opponent who is basically playing Neil's World Championship deck from last year. We're going to assume, though, for all intents and purposes, that they're choosing not to play with all the Kevin Uxbridge, Amanda Rogers stuff. Just because, you know, personal opinion, his deck is like 10 cards bigger because of it. But also we do have Quins in the deck, so we're just going to assume that whenever we draw a Quinn, if we have a Quinn in hand, we can nullify whatever thing that the opponent was doing. The math on Neil's deck is that he should draw either a Kevin Uxbridge or an Amanda Rogers once every 7-ish cards. And so his opening hand may contain one, but after that, it's hard to say whether or not he'd even get one. Since we're playing Borg, and his whole thing is to kill a unique personnel and then relocate them as a captive, and then download, so he gets additional card draws. We're gonna pretty much deny that for a while. So his deck would be slowed down a bit by the fact that he's playing a Borg opponent. So we're just going to assume that we don't even need the Quins that we have in the deck. So we'll go ahead and shuffle. We won the coin toss. We did draw a queen. That's good. Alright, so we're going to just flip for a ship right away and get the Borg Tactical Cube. We're going to play the queen for free to the Unicomplex. And I think we need the card draws. We do have a Quinn in our opening hand. So that's pretty good. So we don't, so we could just say that if he has any opening turn, opening hand, Amanda Rogers or Quinn or Kevin Uxbridge, we'd be able just to take care of it, no problemos. Because we can assume then that like we're gonna download We Are the Borgs, and if he randomly had a Kevin Uxbridge, then we'd be able to just nuke it. So we're just gonna say that, just for simplicity. Because yeah, we're just gonna go straight ahead and just download the We Are the Borgs. There's one. There's the other. This one will stay in play. We're going to download 7. Oh, the other queen was the next card. We're going to download 7 of 9 and the Translator drone. Where's my dude? There he is. Yeah, and then end of turn, we're gonna get to draw 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we don't staff the cube yet, so we're gonna draw 3, and that's really good. Okay. Then we're gonna go to. He's gonna have his turn 1, and we're just gonna assume that he doesn't make a mission attempt. And then we're going to go to our turn 2, and now we're going to push a little bit here. So we're going to go, because this is drone or queen, right? That's unfortunate. So we're going to go data for free red, and then we're going to use this to play him for free, and then we're going to card play this guy. We're going to use We Are the Borg to play him for free. And then we're going to just reveal we're going to reveal the establish gateway. The other thing we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and use the translator drone to pitch assimilate planet, and we're going to put these two cards on the bottom of the deck. And then we're going to undock the ship. And then we're going to just simply put the complink drone back on, because since we're playing an opponent where we don't think that they've got any seeded computer crash cards, and we're just going to have him scout here at salvage operation. All available personnel cannot get past unless you begin mission attempt with at least 6 people. So he downloads Balancing Act and downloads Skeleton Crew. There's the Skeleton Crew. And there's Balancing Act. It's not going to affect either of us. And then this says mission attempt, this says mission attempt, so we just push right on through that nonsense. Hire the Fewer doesn't affect us at all. Misinterpreted history is going to kill him, because he will be most cunning. And then that'll go back underneath. And then we can just adapt it next turn. End of turn, draw a card. Oh, that's so good. Alright. Alright, opponent, let's say that our Cardassian opponent has their turn, and they begin a mission attempt here at Occupy Forces. We hit them with a Shellyak. The Shellyak goes to here. And now they're in danger, because we got the math working out that end of the opponent's turn it's going to get to here, and then 4/6 at the end of our turn it's going to get to here, and they have their turn to basically evacuate, because then at the end of that turn it's at the location it started at, and it's going to just basically nuke everyone on the planet. So they have to spend their turn, their next turn is going to have to be to make sure that they have a ship and get on it. And then leave, most likely. Okay. And then M113 creature, if they have a ship there that has transporter skill on board, we kill them. We kill them. And then that guarantees that the Jolly Chew is going to hit. If they didn't have a ship, or they didn't have a ship with anybody on it, we can target anybody we want. Most likely we just target anthropology, and then we can just target more anthropology and or transporter skill. And then end of turn is going to kill another person, and the Shellyak is going to move to here. Our third turn, we queen swap, and then we convert our card play to a card draw, and we're going to download... We are going to download the tactician drone, and then the tactician, and then with the tactician drone we're going to put this queen beneath the deck, and we're going to download a change of plans. The change of plans is going to switch out our established gateway into a harness particle 010. We're going to use the translator drone to discard this guy and put these two cards back on the deck, back into the deck. End of turn, we have 2 card draws. We're going to... Okay, then we scout and we negate it. And we have a Quinn to protect. We complete scouting on this turn. We'll just make sure our cube is here and staffed. End of turn, we have 2 card draws. We are going to download the connectivity drone to hand, as well as third and fourth. Okay, that's our third turn. Opponent now has their third turn. They pretty much end of our turn. The Shellyak moved and are now threatening the planet. So they have to leave. So they're either going to go to Cardassia or they're going to go to Vala or Velo or Volo or whatever the heck it is. I can't read it. I think it's Velo. So let's just flip a coin as to which direction that they go. Left, or odd is left. So they'll go to Cardassia and they'll attempt Cardassia. And they're going to hit a dead end and stop them. End of turn, the Shellyak is going to nuke the planet down to 20 points. And if there were any outposts there or away teams there, they would be destroyed. And then the turn passes to us. We're just going to go free play with the Unicomplex, free play with the We Are the Borg, card play to a card draw. We're going to download. We don't need the Vinculum. What we do need is Bob the Builder. But what we're going to do... What we're going to do, though, instead is get this guy. We're going to grab the data node. And then we're going to use the data node to look at the top card of the deck. It is a queen, so we are good to go. So end of turn, we probe the queen. And we complete scouting here with Harness Particle 010 going away. We have 30 points. And data goes to hand. End of turn, we draw a card. We also have to download the Maturation Chamber. So end of turn, the card draw is just going to be to get a Vinculum. And then we're good. Okay. Opponent has their turn. I mean, they're now kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because now their resist occupying force is only going to be worth 30. And now this mission's kind of out of play for until they get to the third mission, which now means that since they're here, what they probably want to do is they got to push through verify evidence and try to get it for 30 and then get this one back for 30 again. And again, our opponent has not been able to get their draw engine going because all we did was like lose 1 universal personnel. So that's not going the way they want it to go. So they probably just take all the people that they've played they'll play some more people, and then maybe they're able to get another ship here, and they're able to daisy chain a little bit, and then they attempt here at verify evidence. So this will make it harder, but let's assume that they have it. There's usually a lot of universals in the Cardassian, a Cardassian resistance deck. It's highly unlikely that they have 3 honor and integrity greater than 35 after that, so that'll put a damper on their ship. It'll kill 2 people. It'll kill 2 people now, stop them, and so their next turn is going to probably kill 2 more. Engineer is pretty hard for that deck to come up with, actually. It actually struggles with Engineer a little bit. So then we go to our turn. It's turn 5? Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Yeah, I think it's turn 5 now. We're just going to go ahead and play Data for free as red. Card play is a card draw. We'll download Bob the Builder. We're going to cycle this card in hand after we put him into the... We'll put him into the... we'll cycle it, we'll download a simulation table. And then we're going to put him in, and then we're going to special... No, card play to a card draw was download him. Yeah. Yeah, we're fine. It's going to take us an extra turn here just because of the nature of how things worked out with, we ended up like down a card or 2 with stuff. Because we need to keep Data Borg in play. Alright, so... Oh, we're going to download, that's what it was. We're going to download, I knew there was a way we could do this. We're going to download the adapt with the data node, and then we're going to download Mazaka with the Mazaka drone. And that puts it into the deck, and then we can download the cranial transceiver implant onto him, and then he's going to download Assimilate Planet. And then we're going to get him out of the... And then we're going to take him out of the assimilation table for now. And then we're going to take everyone and everything. We're going to drive 3 to here, go through the Transorb Network Gateway, then go 6 to here. And then we're going to target the Symbiont Diagnosis with our Assimilate Planet. And we're 2, 3, 4 dilemmas. Yeah, 4 dilemmas. You know, when you face 4 dilemmas here, we're going to assume that it's probably some kind of weird, like, setup, killer setup. Killer setup, or wall, and then wall. Especially since this is, like, our biggest mission. And if there's a nod. See, dead ends got to go over here. The opponent, if they're thinking this is the trick, they have to put their dead end here. And so over here is probably just standard dilemma combo, or standard planet combo. The reason why this ended up here is because, and was such an easy walkthrough, was because this was the combo that was left over. We force dead end here, most likely. We force best space combos to this mission. If there's a Cytherians, they're ending up here. This mission, this mission's worth 40, this mission's worth 40. Might not be worth 40 unless they get everything through. And so, and then by putting this here, it can become worth less than 40. So, it's just one of those things where, like, if they attempt this mission, you don't think they're going to attempt this mission first. If you're the opponent, you know, even if you do think it's a Borg deck, like, you can't hedge that bet, right? You have to assume that there's a strong possibility that even if they don't get the fire off of a symbiont through this, they have a way of getting it into play and flying over it. Like, I mean, Lenara Khan can come into play so many different ways, you know, the least of which is temporal micro wormhole, just playing them. And then, of course, if they can always have 7 of 9 nanoprober into play and stuff like that. So you have to dead end here, and you have to put a decent space combo here, because this mission is potentially worth a lot it's worth 45 with mission specialists. So you have to put the dead end here, and then once the dead end is there, you think they might come back to it with some kind of shenanigans. So you got to put a good space combo here, because good planet combos don't belong here. And so then you leave the 2 other planet dilemmas get the planet combos, and since this mission can be solved with just one person, you just kind of have to assume that, I think you guys understand what I'm saying here with the strategy with these dilemmas. You're gonna put your best space combos here, and for Neil's deck, it was like officer drain, and so you kind of have to put like your officer drain here, and then that just kind of leaves the other 2 missions getting these 2 combos. Realistically speaking, even if we switch these 2, it still goes the same way. Singular drone goes through this, dies off of that. Then on the next turn, we just attempt with everybody, because now we know we can beat it, and we don't have to worry about it. So then everybody goes, and we adapt it, and then universal drones and everything like that get past Arsenal Divided. So the 2 combos that are not the Cytherians combos ended up at the 2 middle missions, because you kind of have to put the Cytherians combos at that mission, right? At the end missions where they're going to do the most work. So that's another ancillary benefit of our mission setup, as we kind of force Cytherians away from where we are. And even if they do somehow anticipate it, like, all we got to do is fly there, fly back. It's fine. So Cytherians just doesn't do any work here in the middle, so they're never going to put it there. So that's what we're trying to do, is force any Cytherians away from us, have bigger missions where persistent individuality better belongs at this mission or this mission, not this mission. This mission requires engineer. Well, I mean, they all do, but, you know, if I'm an opponent, I'm gonna think that they want to go after this mission or this planet mission first. I'm not thinking salvage operation as the mission that's like the first mission attempted. Anyway, that's a whole side conversation. The whole strategy conversation. So that leaves us here at a planet. So we pretty much know that the best planet combos are going here, and this is going to get the best planet combo. So when we think what's the best planet combos out there, we think it's going to be Anthro Security Drain, it's going to be Med Drain with Medical Crisis, it's going to be Founder's Secret Denovan something, and then since we have 4 dilemmas here, we can assume that they probably just stuck like another killer on top of it. We are not worried about Jolly Chew too much. We just have to make sure that we have more than one drone down there. So we might as well, and since we have the Vinculum, all we really need to do is send down a blue drone, or 2 blue drones, and then send down red drone backup. in case we encounter a Denevan. We have more data of Borgs and we have more Borg queens. I'm not really adverse to putting them at risk. The problem is we don't have a staffed cube then. And so we will leave 7 of 9 behind. But we need 2 reds. 2 reds staff the ship. So we either, because Jolly Chew is staffed ship in orbit. So my mind is that we're not, be honest, if it is Jolly Chew, we just need to be prepared for Jolly Chew. So we send 7 of 9, and then we have green, green, red, red, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the group that I personally would send down, I think. And we actually have 2 red drones in there to try to protect in case there's a Denevan. We will not get past the Founder's Secret to begin with, but then if we encounter Founder's Secret, so be it. We encounter Founder's Secret, we bounce off of it, and we can just adapt it the next turn, or we just beat it with 4 red drones, because we're no longer worried about Jolly Chew at that point. So these 4 will go down. Horda. Okay. Kills on person, random selection. Let's just go ahead and do this. 7 of 9 will die. And then, yeah, we bounce off the Founder's Secret. Okay, and then it's end of every player's turn. We'll just say that he dies as the next one in line. These 2 are on the planet. We don't have any cards. We will draw 2. We're just going to straight up take the draws. Oh, whoops. She went to the wrong pile. We'll just draw 2. And then we pass it back to the opponent, who kills 2 more people and probably needs to leave on that ship and get off of it. So they play some people here. They fly 4, 5, 6 back. They don't cure this. Doesn't matter. They have another ship probably. They have their anthro transporters now. So we'll say that they bypass that, and then they got to beat a medical crisis, which is going to be very difficult. So let's say that they just don't, because on a first viewing, it's probably not something that they're going to be able to beat, especially since we've been killing people along the way. Passes back to us. We can play a red drone for free. We can convert card play to a card draw. We'll convert that to a download. Let's grab. I mean, we need a red drone. We need a red drone in order to just get past all that nonsense. So let's just grab him. I wanted to get a green drone, but we're going to do that. We're going to just cycle her with the tactician drone, and we're just going to pull a green drone out of the deck. We'll download an objective, I suppose. There's an objective that isn't a good one. Yeah. No, they're all good, so it doesn't matter. We're still just going to download. We'll just get establish gateway out of the deck for no reason. Oh no, wait, we're not doing that. Oh yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that with cranial transceiver implant. We're not gonna download. We're not gonna download the adapt because we know we can beat all this stuff now probably. So then we'll just beam everybody down. No, we'll beam 4 red drones down. So red drone, red drone, red, red, science security for beating the what's its nut. 12. Yeah, we're just going to have to send down a bunch. Unfortunately. We're going to send all of these down. We'll send him down too. They're all attributes +2, I suppose. So we'll send down this group. They will begin scouting. They beat that. They encounter the Denovan. The left 4. Okay. I have 4 red drones to protect the other 4 to protect the other 4. So that's beaten. And then it's exactly science security. We're skill sharing anyway. Everyone's attributes +2. So we definitely beat that. 7, 16, 23, 33 plus 4 is 37, 49 plus. So then we beat the Hanonian land eel. We complete scouting. We have data of Borg here. We will have the data node is going to look at the top card of the deck. It is green, so we're going to use the tactician drone to put him underneath the deck to draw this card, and then we're just going to probe at the end of turn, and then we hit it, and then data downloads. Resistance is futile before he bounces to hand. So place it, special download it, and then his text can activate. And he bounces back to hand, but the game is over. 30, set 25, add 10, multiply it times 2 is 70. So boom. 20, 40, 60, 70. Because 35 times 2 is 70. So there's our 2 objective win with Borg. Yeah. As an aside, as you all know, the upcoming set is coming out. There is an upcoming set coming out. It is focused on the Delta Quadrant, as has already been stated. I'm going to tell you right now that you'll be able to play this deck if you want to, this Borg 2 objective win deck, and point drain. That's the other thing. We'll get to that here in a moment. And some of these missions can definitely change, and you can appear more, you'll be able to appear more like a deck that is doing that. And just so you guys know, I am going to work on a deck that does this little trick, where you get Lenara Khan in, and you can like wormhole into symbiont diagnosis. So it's not just a theory; it is something that you can actually do. I am going to work on it, and yeah, it'll be a Voyager deck that it will be a Voyager deck that does do exactly that. It's going to basically just kind of wormhole itself in to symbiont diagnosis with Lenara Khan, and because Lenara Khan's not playing wormhole for its own thing, you don't stop, so you can immediately attempt. So just be advised that 2 things. If you ever face a deck that's like doing this, like that is a legitimate trick. You can totally do it, and it's when I was theory crafting it, it's pretty decent. And then being able to just do like return life form. And that's the thing, like that deck, like when I was theory crafting it, it wants to do return life form if it can. And then you solve for 40, you solve for 45, and you get 15 from a self-seeded Cytherians. But you probably want to actually do salvage operation with that deck too if you can, but it doesn't really matter. Like you can do it so many different ways, and then you don't even have to necessarily do self-seeded Cytherians. There's so many other point strategies that you can do. So you do have the option of doing a lot of different things here. So, and then nano probing in symbionts late game as well. Should they die on a symbiont, while attempting symbiont diagnosis, is entirely legitimate. So. Be advised, if you face a deck that is doing all this nonsense, it's hard to know whether or not you're facing the Borg version or the non-Borg version. So, hope you enjoyed this video. The rest of the dilemmas. So we had a cloud behind all that, of course. Behind the dead end is this. The whole point, dead end keeps them off early. Then when they can get past it, Edo Probe says, do you really want to risk it? If they risk it and then they don't get it, they lose 10 points. That maybe pushes them back down below threshold. Normally that wouldn't necessarily be the case, but with a Shellyak reducing points and other stuff, it's not necessarily a given they can stay above 50. Even if they don't, say they push it, they're like, fine, it doesn't matter, I'll push it, see the last dilemma. Because unless they solve this mission because they might have to go to 4 missions, because, say we take a 30-pointer down to 20 like this, then, the math usually doesn't work out well. Over here, we do have a Borg ship, as I'm sure you saw when we were doing deck searching. We do have a retask for it. And we have another Edo Probe here. Again, the point is we're forcing the opponent into situations where they're just losing time. They're leaving, they're spending range, turns they got to abandon, they get stopped from mission debriefing, and then they have to deal with a bunch of nonsense. Borg ship. So say they encounter a Borg ship here at this space mission. Goes to here. End of turn, 4, 5, 6, can't get to there. End of the turn, 4, 5, 6, 7, can't get past that one, stops here. So again, even though the Borg ship doesn't do anything on its own, it gets faced, goes to there, we kill somebody, hopefully they have only one physics or one archaeology, we can kill. Then we make them stop here. Even if that doesn't happen, for whatever reason, they face the tricyclinate poisoning. They have to have a Trill with Symbiont as the nearest planet dilemma, or nearest planet mission. And that's pretty much impossible for 95% of decks or more. And so they auto-stop to that, and then the Borg will arrive, and then that'll push them off. Ideally, they don't even face that. Ideally, what happens is this kills, then this stops, and then the Borg show up. They have to abandon, so that's one whole turn. Actually, what happens is it passes to the opponent's turn. This counts down to 1. They have to abandon. Otherwise, they're going to get blown up. If they try to push and just take the risk, then the tricyclinate shows up and says no. Then they blow up, and then the mission is worth minus 10 points. Pretty cool combo, huh? And that's the whole point. Tricyclinate, again, symbiote diagnosis, pretty cool when you can stick a tricyclinate poisoning at a space mission right next to it. And that's the idea. When we're putting our missions out, we will stick symbiont diagnosis next to a space mission if we can. and then we just have tricyclinate poisoning there. It's pretty cool, huh? Over here, we've just got a standard, like, Romulan mine probes into a friendly fire, into a Ghost of Cyrus Ramsey. Nothing special. So that's the deck, that's the dilemmas, that's the strategy with a shortened space line. We're pushing them, we're making them lose turns by having to leave missions because the Sheliak and the Borg are threatening. And then on top of that, then we make the mission worth less points. We make the mission worth less points. We feed them into those dilemma combos with Edo probes, where if they try to push, they're not going to have a good time. They're going to lose 10 points if they try to push. Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. And then you playing, since you're playing a methodical Borg deck, you kind of put them on a clock. Like, you can just keep pushing methodically. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys next time. May the profits be with you.